I can't see him on the. I don't know why. I didn't know John Roberts was there. Are you there?
He is there.
Hey, how are you, Jimmy?
I'm good. I'm so sorry because we have a board up here, and normally I could see that you're available, and for whatever reason you're on the phone. But well, it's not your problem. But
well, I am at the White House, and the veil of secrecy over this place, Jamie. So I think it was being masked by the NSA.
Wow. So the big story today? Like you have said before, and I've heard you when you've popped on Fox and Friends or Shepard Smith Show or whatever. You said there are 5 gigantic stories going on at the same time.
Yes, always, and today is no different. The fire hose is flowing fast and furious. I mean, you've got the drive to potentially try to put the health care bill back together. And on this health care bill, I like to quote Billy Crystal from The Princess Bride. There's a big difference between dead and mostly dead. And it looks like this health care bill is only mostly dead because some people are trying to put it back together again. Then, of course, there's the war that the president launched yesterday against the Freedom Caucus, clearly a divide-and-conquer strategy. And then all of this business about Devin Nunes, the House Intelligence Chairman, and his connections to the White House continues to swirl, and we're learning a lot more about that today as well.
Yeah, all right. Well, let's take also the Mike Flynn story. And by the way,
I'm sorry, I forgot that.
Well, no, but I'm curious because I was seeing reports that Hillary Clinton, as well as Evelyn Farkas, all still had clearance, even though they had left the federal government. Is that true?
That part of it, I do not know.
Yeah.
I've seen those reports. I've also seen reports that kind of, walk back with the revelatory aspect of Farkas's interview.
Yeah.
Suggesting that was done right after the New York Times story regarding the preservation of intelligence in the waning days of the Obama administration. So I think the full story on that is yet to be told as well. But what's very interesting to me, though, is what we're learning about the fact that a couple of people here at the White House appear to have aided the Intelligence Committee chairman in finding intelligence to back up his assertions about Trump transition officials, maybe even campaign officials, being surveilled, their names being unmasked or their identities being unmasked, if not their names, and how General Flynn's name got out there in the public. What's not clear is while it does appear that these White House officials helped him view the information, were they acting at his direction in looking for it in the first place, and kind of how word got back?
Right.
Because you think if you've got the information search in the White House, why wouldn't it stay in the White House, and why wouldn't the president be notified? Why did the chairman of the Intelligence Committee come down and look at it? It could be because these people at the White House were acting at his request. It could be that they thought, well, he's the guy who's been tasked with doing the investigation. He should be the first one notified. Those are the pieces of the puzzle we're trying to put together now.
Yeah, and because it can be nefarious depending on how you want to spin it. Because at the same time, we're also seeing now a direct invitation to, for instance, Schiff to come to the White House and do the same thing that Nunes did, and he's got to be aided by somebody in order to see the documents, right?
Correct. So people at the NSC, he'd be cleared into the White House through the WAVE system. People at the NSC would walk him into what's called the SCIF, the Sensitive Compartmented Information Facility, where he could look at this information on the White House computer system. Schiff is making the point that if this is exactly the same stuff that Devin Nunes saw, that then there's a disconnect of, well, why didn't Nunes bring this to the whole Intelligence Committee, a week and a half ago when he first had this information? So,
right.
That some things that Schiff is saying would seem to make sense, but then, there's a very good column today in the Wall Street Journal by Kimberly Strassel pointing out that Schiff seems to be sort of making a lot of hay out of very little. So.
Right. But I guess at least he's saying, okay, I'll come and look at it. So at least he's agreeing to come and look at it. So maybe we'll see a different side of Schiff today. Who knows if he does see it today. I guess I want to ask you just a quick personal question about because you're in the briefing room. What's it like being in there with Sean Spicer there, and there's some degree of contention sometimes with other reporters, and I know you've been there before with other people, other spokesmen. What's it like being in that briefing room with Sean Spicer at the helm?
It's no different than it was when Joe Lockhart was the press secretary for President Clinton.
Oh,
there was the same sort of combative environment. I mean, sometimes Joe Lockhart I guess it's something that's sort of standard with press secretaries who are of Irish heritage.
Yeah, right.
They've got that streak in them that they rise to a boil very quickly, and I know because I'm married to an Irish woman. And Joe Lockhart, you would see if he got a question he didn't like, or people were pushing back on him, you could literally see the blood rising in his face. There was almost like a clear line of demarcation as it was coming up, and his eyes would get big and wide and almost bug out. and he was very tough with the press. So I think that I've seen this sort of thing, and apparently Ron Ziegler was the same way during the Reagan administration. So I've seen this before. It's nothing new with Spicer. You may have, because of the candidate who won the office of the presidency and his background, and there tends to be among many news organizations a lean to the left, a little more contention than there was, but I've seen that sort of combated back and forth before, so for me it's nothing new.
Yeah, right. It's amazing, buddy, because I'm telling you, you look young. I don't know how you could go all the way back to that. Of course, I remember you also on the other network, but you do great work, John Roberts. We love watching you and listening to you, and thanks so much for everything. You're busy, man.
Oh yeah, it's great, but the day goes fast, Jamie, and I'll tell you, we have a special age-defying filter on the camera.
Well,
much older than I look,
and you don't seem to complain like other guys do that you have to work weekends sometimes. But I mean, you are constantly just you're constantly working. I think it's awesome, and you're a real credit to the Fox News. So thanks for joining us this morning. I know you're busy.
Well, those are very kind words, Jamie. I thank you so much, and it's always a pleasure to be with you.
Thank you so much. That's John Roberts with Fox News, at John Roberts Fox. Yeah, he's a